right, everybody, welcome to the episode 4 of the podcast Idea Orgy. We're with my guest.
Yes.
We're with my guest Rue Vags. He's my yoga teacher, and you can start it off.
Hello, how's everybody doing? Love Steve, great guy, right? Talented. Really excited to be here, have a conversation with the next generation of smart brains, smart minds. Somebody who has all the systemic accolades, but still is not fitting in the box, right? He does his school thing, he does the startup smart guy thing, but at the same time, like, he's in Thailand boxing, right? Right? He making space for your own life, right? So just excited.
So I like Rue. We've been doing. I met him like a year and a half ago, and we were doing yoga. And I like him as a yoga teacher because he's really specific with his language in a way that like resonates with me. And then when he's like talking me through technique, it just like clicks. And then so I was like, I noticed a lot of significant gains with him with my yoga game. Yeah,
Indeed. And likewise, like I said, just always excited to be around the young, smart, intelligent mind that's not, this is the next wave of being complete, right? Being complete is not like this specialization. You talked about that before, like the total specialization. Like I'm gonna be this, and I have to be this, and everything that's around that. But you're made up of so many more components, so many more things, and just being able to address all that in your life, it's hard to do it, and it takes courage to do it too.
Yeah. So what got you into yoga? Tell us your story.
Martial arts instructor, 10 years. I'm Bruce Lee, the second coming, right? like everybody else, right? The second coming of Bruce Lee. Taking all these different martial arts, exploring the arts, wanting to be more flexible. One of my partners, good friend, he's in Singapore right now. Why can't I think it's Derek Franza. He said, man, come on, I got this hot yoga place, man, downtown Decatur, man. You come the first, you pay for one class, first week, you come 5 times or something within the first month. So I go in, hot yoga, Bikram, hot. Go in there, it's like, yeah, leave feeling good. Want to be more flexible, want to kick to the head, want to do all this type of stuff, want to be, but only thing that changed was my mind, my mindset, right? And then started engaging with the intellectual body beyond the physical body. And a few years went by, off and on, in and out. And then finally I got the opportunity, went to Los Angeles, 8-week training, 500 hours, and back to Atlanta, and I'm here.
Nice. So what got you also into martial arts?
Oh man, martial arts. Going through a divorce, so it's like I can't finding a positive outlet for my stress, right? So Thai boxing. First started with Thai boxing, then from Thai boxing went to Jun Fun, JKD. Wing Chun was the last thing that I got into. My instructor at the school, Francis Fong, was a Wing Chun instructor. Kind of ended up gravitating, but I'm a certified Wing Chun instructor, not certified in anything else, but trained a lot. I trained in probably a lot of arts. Just leave it at that. I trained a lot of time, a lot of hours, a lot of arts.
And so you're at the intersection of yoga and martial arts?
At the intersection of yoga and martial arts. But they're the same, right? You talk about it all the time. In my mind, I start to see them as the same. They always talk about in martial arts as the physical part, the material, the fighting part. That's the lowest form. You study martial arts on a higher, any level, right? It's always introduced that the lowest form of martial arts is to the physical form, where you actually have to like punch, kick, grab, and because the art is about what? Being able to avoid those things, being able to have your self-control, your self-discipline, and then being able to heal those that you injure or hurt, right? So that was the philosophy. Like, if you can't heal them, if you can't fix them, don't break them. And then went into yoga, which is a healing art. It's a restorative, and all the exercise, it became just like the martial arts started to blend together between the arts, to connect the dots. I started to connect the dots between yoga, because the whole story of Dharma, he goes to China and he teaches them to get their bodies strong, the whole weak man of China type thing. So he teaches them, giving the Qigong exercises, giving the physical exercises, and then, to go along with the mental stuff.
Nice. So what do you like about martial arts or fighting in general?
always that's always heavily steep. I grew up fighting, right? So I'm from East Atlanta. My family like is notoriously like my cousins and stuff. I don't have any like I have a little sister 10 years, but like all my cousins, my family, they can just fight, just can scrap, right? The family just everybody you born in this family, you can scrap. And so, 2 years old, 3 years old, it's almost like, I mean, people say, and it sounds funny, they used to take me right off of Moreland and Memorial. It was this little, like an aqueduct, this little sunken, like little creek. So they'll like have me and all the little boys in the summertime. They'll, they don't want to fight because they're older, they're 12, 13. I'm much younger than my cousins. And so they have all the little cousins, their little brothers fight. So I'm down there like early in the morning, like maybe this time in the morning, 9 o'clock, summer day. You get out there. They take us down there. Don't cry. If you cry, if you lose, we're gonna beat you up. So you just like, it's like every day, like we just like you down there scrapping. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't even have no beef with the little kid, but I got these big kids who 12, 13 years old who can definitely beat me up. So I'm kind of, I guess fearful would be I don't even think about it, but now I say it, fearful that they're gonna beat me up because they roughing me up too. And so you just scrap all summer. So when I went to martial arts, I always was already pretty confident that I can fight and defend myself in those spaces. So I didn't enter in that. I fell in love with philosophy, right? The part where fighting is the lowest form of vibration, and all the specific things that you had to do and you have to adhere to, and it becomes less about the outside world and environment, and it's all about you. Basically, it's less about what you do. Is my response to your action, or moving the person around, and that was my lure to martial arts.
Nice. Yeah, dude. What do we want to talk about?
Oh man, let's talk about let's talk about you, right? I mean, like it just Thai boxing, going to places where people don't want to venture, and you talk about being around martial arts and being around the MMA scene, because the school I went to, like half of us were more on the less sports side of it, right? Because my instructor, he used to have military contracts years ago, and so CIA, DEA, Air Marshals and stuff, close quarter combat. I would be in the room oftentimes with Marines and Rangers would come. He got $500 an hour, but engaging with the fact that you as a person who was an intellect, who's going to school, you going on to your higher education, finding a safe space to still engage with something that you love to engage with, you know what I mean, and not being what the world wants you to be, or what you should be, the stereotype of that's why I teach it down Evo, you and VJ, I talked about you all the time to everybody, because it's like you see you and you don't look like VJ will be working for NASA, right? But he got like this long surfer hair. He wears like these shirts where a long time ago he's like button up with pin protector in your pocket. That's what the smart guy looked like. But just changing the image of what smart people look like, and what smart is and what intelligent is, and it doesn't have to be viewed in a visual way of like, oh, putting you in a box, compartmentalization.
Yeah, nice. Well, appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks for the kind words.
And then willing to live your life, like you come back and you got like these badges of honor, right? That's what that's a badge of honor. Like
he's talking about scars.
That's that's a story. For the family, for your family later on. People don't live life. Less about the accumulation. Accumulation of experiences more so than accumulation of wealth, commodities, and that stuff is so. And I say it. And not being crass, it's so easy to do because it's processed, but this accumulation of experience and the courage it takes when everybody says, no, Steve, don't go to Thailand for 2 months and fight. You need to go work for this startup and you can make XYZ a year, and what are you doing with your life, and what's going on. You living your life, right?
Yeah.
With no regrets.
Yeah, exactly.
Most people can't do that, and but they feel like they're doing it by living this safe route. Like, if I do this, but you teach yourself for so many experiences. Yeah. It's the experience. You can't take the money with you. All those things you can't take. Take anything. They might throw something in the casket with you. You know what I'm saying? But it's of no use to you. So all these things that we accumulate, a lot of times, they only serve us for a short period of time. But that experience, the experience that you leave, that the impression that you leave on the other people, right? I think that's more important. How would I remember Steve? Uncle Steve, he used to go to Thailand and fight, and not putting you in the grave, but you understand what I'm saying as far as just just living your life. And people are often envious in the end when it comes to people like that.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Well,
But it's a hard road.
yeah, it is. It is a hard road. It is a hard road.
It comes with some because I've been there. You know what I'm saying? It comes with some like getting laughed at when people laugh at you and scoff at you and make everybody, especially in our society, we're quick to tag the word crazy. We just use some words so casually, and that's why in the yoga room I try to not qualify my words, but definitely measure my words, because words are important.
Yeah.
They shape. Words are power, right? It's like magic coming out of your mouth. So being very careful about how you articulate certain things, but it's how casually, oh yeah, he's crazy. Like, no, like this is a person who's courageously, fearlessly following their heart. And it comes with some scars. It comes with some sad times, but I think it comes with a more, for me, and it's definitely for you. I see it because you well into that path. It comes with something that no one can take from you at any given moment. You can go and you can walk into a job and the guy coming in, or the lady or whoever, or the person, let's put it that way, like walks in and say, "Hey, Steve, you know what? I'm done with you. Bye."
Yeah.
There's no security in that. You know what I mean? Like, but people walk in under that type of pressure every day, and don't acknowledge it. You choose to acknowledge yours in a different way.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Well, yeah. Oh, I think for me, I never thought of it that deeply. I think I just love Thailand, man. Or specifically Muay Thai in Thailand. So I just like everything about it, the culture, the way that people handle things, like the code of ethics, that's like kind of the unspoken rules, and then you just, it's at the end of the day, it's all about just self-improvement, I think. So, and that like vibes with me, and yeah, just fighting to test yourself and being willing to fight. There's like so much that goes into it, and I just love the whole thing so much. So it's like to make the decision to just kind of to pursue that is, for me, I think just, it's not an act of courage. It's an act of integrity. I think just being true to myself. Like, do I love it? Yeah. So.
But your integrity is always tested, right?
Yeah.
That's I just always say, like, words of power. Like, I learned like a long time ago, like never to say never, right? Because as soon as I feel like I'm a little, I guess in this day's time I'm a little hokey, or people call it woke, or whatever you want to call it. But your lessons come, right? As soon as you try to identify yourself as something, or I take a strong stance, a strong belief, it's like you put that seed out of the vibration of the universe that says, like, hey, do you really believe that, right?
Yeah.
What do you really believe? Do you really love Thailand? Do you love Thailand enough to, like, do this little work, take this money, and then run off to Thailand? You know what I'm saying? And come back and, like, have to deal with, like, well, okay, well, Steve's back, and this is that, and, he's doing this, all that type of talk, and, and family, I think families are the hardest to deal with, because, I mean, it's easy to rationalize. We have friends and good friends, but it's just a different when your family just is that blood, that vibration, when they speak to you, it resonates in a different space, and just happen to, and I don't even know your whole story. It's not like you told me a whole lot about, like, your family, but I just know, like, with the way what you're doing, like, there has to be at least one person, because that's life. One person doesn't improve.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, that's the integrity, but the courage comes with integrity, right? What's inside of what you look up the word integrity, like, it's going to take some courage, because when you come to integrity, that means there's something that you're unwilling to fold on. There's something that you believe in enough, strong enough to, no matter what anybody believes or what it has, you do and accomplish it. I mean, like I say, shout out, because if you never went to Thailand, if you never had the courage to go take that experience, you never found home.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's very true. Oh, oops.
That's all right. That's life, right? Oops.
Yeah. We're good. Yeah, man. Dang, that was a good little conversation about all that stuff. So, is there anything you want to talk about?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I just like it's fall in Atlanta, which is one of the best places in the world, I think, seasonal wise, right? People, hot Atlanta, summertime, but I think spring and fall in Atlanta, from the places I've been, is unique, right? Everything's green, and now you start to see the leaves start to change, and brown, the yellow, the oranges, right? I think fall and spring in Atlanta are like probably some of the best times anywhere in the world, like where I've been so far, and it's home too, right? So a little biased when it comes to that, but but being present, right? Being mentally present, all these things that are around us and are changing, and we kind of refuse to see, or we don't say refuse, just acknowledge them, right? The subconscious takes in all these things, right? But it's just a practice, right? You can practice to be more aware of what's going around or on around you, but it's hard when it's this world of specialization, right? I am, I was telling a student the other day, we like to speak of ourselves in the singular terms, like, hi, Steve. Who are you, Steve? Well, I work for a startup, right? Like, no, I like Thai boxing. That's why it's always like having, you hear the stories about having like a child's mind, right? If you walk up to any kids like, yo, who are you? It's like, oh, they start telling you what they like, right? I like candy, I like cookies, I like basketball, you know what I mean? But the older we get, we kind of go away from that and we become like, who are you? Well, I made this many investments and I got this put up and I'll have this much money and I got my ETFs all set up and like all that type of stuff, because it's validation, right? But being is not one singular thing, right? Like, you don't even come from one being. So how could you be one thing, right? You come from, at least two people, or it could be two scientists these days, right?
Yeah.
or a combination of sciences, which is still not singular, right?
Yeah.
So just the being, I think just in this space of like, speaking about being whole, what does that mean? The sum of the parts make the whole, but we just try to make it one thing.
What piece of advice would you give to someone who's trying to chase his or her dreams?
Oh man, I mean, it's hard these days too with so much media and so many things, and it's just everything seems to be like such a quick start, right? It's like, oh, this person, like, oh, you wake up one day and now you're famous, right? Or you wake up one day and you've accomplished all. It just doesn't really happen like that. It just doesn't. Like, even just for the simple, that's not the order of this place. It takes work. It takes a certain level of dedication. It takes a steadiness. When something throws you off course, you got to get back on course, and you're gonna be thrown off course. You're gonna be tested. Is this what you really want? Do you really want it? And so if you're chasing your dreams, just, you're gonna have people, and it's the people close to you that don't agree. There are some people who have very supportive and groups around them, right? Support groups around them, family, friends, and they are very blessed and fortunate to have that. But the vast majority, as it's life, right? You meet resistance. Just go for it, but don't, do you really want to do it, right? So then now you have to be more deliberate. That's why I learned in the yoga room, be more deliberate, right? Cause and effect. There's no cause that doesn't have an effect. There's no effect that doesn't have a cause. So how precise can I be in my cause to gain desired effect? And that's, but most people are like, oh, I want to be a basketball player. You're like little kids, and like, yo, you never dribbling the basketball. You're never taking jump shots. Like, you spend more time playing Fortnite than you do basketball. You don't want to be a basketball player. Yeah. And being able to be honest. If that's your dream, and it's not a singular focus, because there's so many parts moving in, but you just have to like really hone in on all the things that it takes to get where you go, and then not be assigned to what your dream looks like in the end. It's probably gonna not be what you thought your picture perfect thing, or what you pictured it to be. It'll be in that space and being free. Most people lose it. Like, it's like, hear about the person like, oh, I didn't take the record deal because they're taking all my money. But do you want to be an artist? Like, get your foot in the door, and then you'll get to that space, or you'll learn from that space. Like, everything comes with something.
Yeah, definitely. How often do you practice being still?
Okay, so this is one of my new epiphanies. Is there such thing as stillness? Right, my heart beats, my lungs move, the blood flowing in my veins. My mind's active. There's always some kind of neural activity going on. So stillness, I think, is a concept that we probably need to revisit on a deep philosophical level. I understand it when it says stillness. But what I do try to practice is my mindfulness, my awareness. And so it would appear as stillness on the outside, but there's no such thing, right? Just it's just the stillness would be my ability to, in this moment, lock in on this moving picture. I see the trees, I see you, I see the sunlight, I see the Swiss guys picture on the wall at the same time, just taking a broad perspective. And in order to do that, it takes us a level of concentration, which just cause maybe externally to look still, but inside it's just like that explosion, the universe, right? Everything, excuse me, the universal law of expanding, right? Expansion. Um, so meditating, whenever I get a chance, I just try to meditate in any given moment, right? It doesn't have to be like, oh, I'm going to sit down at 10 o'clock every day. And, you know, for me, meditation is grown to like the moving meditation. That's one thing I love about Bikram, the old dialogue, like moving meditation. Like, so as I breathe with intent, which is the toughest thing for us to do, because you do not have to do it. Everything comes into focus, right? And if I practice on that, and I can do that at the bus stop. You standing there, you're on a phone call talking to some of these automated things as we all have to do and waiting on hold. Just breathe, listen to the music, right? What is the music saying instead of all this background noise, chatter? Actually take the time to just engage with it. That's what stillness is to me, is engagement. Right, the opposite.
How has practicing mindfulness helped you?
So much, right? It helped anxiety, stress, world views of just like everything. Just it change. It softens everything. Less jagged, less rigid in approach to anything. There are things that I definitely have integrity. There's different things that I breathe, that I believe in. But what I'm saying, breathing, because I'm having a thought. I read a few weeks ago, a few months ago. The truth is alive. I always hear you can't bury the truth, right? The truth can't be buried. You can't bury the truth. But then I read something in another book. It said the truth is alive and breathing. So that's what makes it always changing. Anything that's alive and breathing is evolving. So what was true about Steve 10 years ago, skateboarder, soccer player, whatever it was, like doesn't really hold true.
Yeah.
Another thought, practice. So not that we are different people. You're just practicing different things now, right? So people like, I'm trying to make a whole overhaul of who I am. Like, oh, can't do that. You can't erase your experiences. But what you can do is practice different things to alter your future experiences, right? So it's just a practice. So that's what the mindfulness, the deliberateness of the practice has brought to me.
Nice. Well, yeah, I totally recommend Bikram yoga to anybody. It's like it's helped me change a lot of, or like help me just cope with I guess just racing thoughts a lot and like anxieties, and then just help me stay centered and like be present. And then it helped me realize that I'm not my thoughts, so that and then just help me gain greater focus. I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, but so coming from like having, you know, and always from a humble space, right? Like, not like love Steve to death, right? So when I speak and I say things, I just want the best for people because I know what the practice done for me. But standing in a room for 90 minutes in the heat, looking at yourself, it brings a lot of stuff into focus, right? It brings the brain. The brain is an organ, right? That can be programmed, can be trained. We should understand that. Oh, and I don't like to use the word should. It's easy to understand when you understand school. They put you in, they teach you the processes, you move forward. You move forward in the process, this process. But what's going on is the programming of your brain. And so, or your brain activity, to be even more specific, right? Evolve Your Brain, Joe Dispenza, Evolving Your Brain, just talked about how you can rewire your synapses, how they fire. It happens all the time. When you engage in an activity, you sit down, take a new course, a new study, you're going to learn how to, well, I think you're saying right now, you're learning how to code, right? So now you sit down, you study you study philosophy for the last 3 years. Now you sit down and now your brain has to rewire, re-engage different synapses to what? Engage with coding. That's a programming. So you're consciously making an effort to change how your brain operates. But you can do it too is at night when I lay down, I have these thoughts. I'm thinking about this. I have all these things and it starts to loop. Become aware that I'm in this cycle is the first part, right? I'm here. Detach yourself from your brain activity, which sounds crazy, but you detach yourself because once again, material body, intellectual body, spiritual body, consciousness, right? You are not your brain. Your brain is matter. When you leave here, your brain will still be here. Just understand that you can use your consciousness, you can use your higher level, or however you want to put it, your spirit, to hone in. That's the integrity. You like the integrity, your will, your ego says, hey, I'm going to Thailand. I like Thailand. I vibrate here, and now you're reprogramming your life to make that happen.
Absolutely.
And so I mean, so seeing Steve in the room and seeing how he changed, got the energy right. Bam, you win. Got the focus, got the drive. Bam, you're number one, right? That's what it takes in our society. If you can, you have the energy to sustain the high level activity. Is fighting, is CEO, right? High level, you can sustain the endurance of the rigors. You can be thinking, be active, but are you in control? Because once what happens, the body goes into autopilot. And when you sit in that room and you see yourself, it's like, okay, now I need to take control. Being deliberate, being efficient with my energy, not just we talk and make up all the time, me and Steve. So you're the fighter who comes out, and no disrespect to Clay Guida, right? What's his name? Guida? Clay Guida?
I think so.
Energy guy, right? He comes out and he just over for years he overwhelmed you, but at a certain point, you get older. You just can't use those same tactics. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just don't have the energy. There's going to be a young kid come up who's just younger, got more energy. You're burning off on your tank. So being more efficient. So you learn to be more efficient, or I would like to believe that I'm growing to be more efficient. You see the old martial arts master, 80 years old, 90 years old, 100 years old, and you see them doing amazing things. It's not because they're using the amount of energy and youth. In youth, we get it done by repetition. But now, concise movement, no waste of movement, no waste of energy. That's what I think, I would like to grow into.
Nice. So what's the plan? What's the end goal for Rue Vogs?
Oh man, right now I don't know, right? So it's always shifting, right? I would never thought I'd be a yoga teacher. I mean, you could have asked me 5 years ago, and I wouldn't be leading yoga practices. Like, just wasn't in my scope, wasn't in my venture. It's martial arts, it's MMA, it's self-defense classes and stuff like that. Bodyguard, private security work. So I don't know. What I do know is that I'm just in this moment. It's yoga. Booked my first retreat, which I'm super excited about. I'll be leading a retreat in Ojai, California, in October. So stoked about that, right? That's one of the things I set out for. Wanted to use yoga to travel, kind of like, travel and see the world, meet people. I like people. People are interesting, right? And we're all the same, right? No matter if we can take what the person looks like, the social economic demographic, basically we all want the same thing. People want a little peace of mind, want some contentment, want to be happy, and want to be well sustained. Just the basic human thing, right? So just trying to connect with people on that level. So that's basically my end goal. If I have an end goal, and however that comes, right? That can come through business, that can come through commerce, that can come through yoga, it can come through anything. It can come from interaction with somebody that's on the street. I talked to a guy yesterday at Poppy's, and we started talking about Bitcoin. He's talking about he has him and his wife bought Bitcoin ATMs. So just always just being willing to engage and being open to engage with spirits that are trying to engage with you, right? We just move around the city. You walk out the street and it's like everybody got going somewhere. The New York City, Chicago type vibe, right? You just walking and just moving by because you on your mission, but not actually taking time to engage. Back to the mindfulness, deliberately being aware in game.
Nice. Well, we're coming up on the time now, so we had a pretty uplifting conversation, and thank you, Rue Vogs.
Thank you, Steve. Next time we'll get you to play the piano, and we maybe another week we come back and we'll do it again. A send off, right? A send off party for the venture.
Yeah. All right. See everyone later.
All be well.
Yes, sir. Nice, man. That was good.